Suppose there is some structure. In large programs, programmer tends to use some macros. These are called predefined macros. Suppose I write percentage and I underscore date. If I run this code, it will print the date. So underscore date is no predefined macro. It retrieves the system date. So number 5/2020 is the system date. Similarly, there are predefined macros. These are basically strings. Suppose write underscore time. If I run the code, it will give you time. Right? I won't put the slash in. So it is 7:15:16. Right? So time. Programmers tend to write this kind of macros so that keeping the record of that. Sometimes there is a macro like I haven't used that, but let's try to use it. Whether does it exist? Let me check whether it is there. If we don't get any error, no such error is. But it is not printing line. It might be a %d, I think. I think so. I don't remember now. But such macro exists. Yes. So 15. The line number prints that. Okay. This is line as 15th, right? Sometimes this macro is used for debugging purpose, right? You should know that when thousands of lines are written by the programmer and he is doubtful about that particular part of the code, there the programmer puts this so that when he executes the program, he can directly go to that line number. So everybody uses it in a different way, line macro. Similarly, there is a one macro, predefined macro. It is called underscore file. Right? Let's see what happens along with this macro. So have you seen? It gives the full path. Okay. So this file has been stored at this location. Okay. So C:\C batch evening C programs file handling sample 07 main.c. Huh? Now how we can use this macro for an interesting program? Sometimes in the interview they ask you, can you print the source code? I will copy part of the code from the earlier. Okay, I will copy this everything. This. Okay, I will paste it here. Earlier code, right? And I will remove this. So they ask you question: how can we write? Can you write a program whose output is the same source code? Okay. So see, the source code, you want to print the source code itself when you run that program. How is it possible? It is possible using that a single line macro. So how to do this? Hmm? I will declare one file pointer, right? And open the file. Which file I will open? I will open this file only, right? How I can open this file? Okay, so you have to give the full path or directly use the macro file, right? And open that in read mode. You have to open it in read mode because file is in open format, right? And then you can write one variable as a ch, right? And you can write while suppose one ch equal to f c. Let's declare this as an int. Get the habit of declaring this. Whatever character you take from the f get c, get the habit of declaring this variable as int, not as char. Even though you read characters from the file, that is a convention. It is regarded as a safe. Okay, so f get c and fill that file pointer. And put that. See, put C, you can use put can, you can use printf, anything. Okay, so I put C and where to send this to the monitor we want to send. So std out you can see. Let's see whether it works. I don't know. And I will write here. We have to check if p equal to none. Error file doesn't exist. Since it is a read mode, new file will not be created. Right? And if it is open, it will be directly final f close fp. And a C program to print the source code itself. Right? What is there? Okay. So I hope, not sure. It will give few warnings because we have not used all those variables. Right? So for time being, ignore those variables. We have declared some structure and variables, right? And run this code. Okay, it went to the infinite loop. While one, yeah. While if ch equal to EOF break, right? So have you seen this? The source code itself, we have printed the source code itself. Huh? Isn't it interesting program? Just a single line of this. This helps you. This helps you for exact file path, but the same file you're opening here, right? And so, how does it work? When you compile this program, it will be converted into machine code, and when it is executed, basically nothing happens up to this. But what happens at this level? Whatever file, whatever program we have written, that is also a file. So that file is opened in R mode, right? Because we have given the path. What it requires is what it must be doing when you save the file. Huh? When you save the file, it is saved on the hard disk, right? Your program file, your source code, that file is on the hard disk. Your code is running in the memory, that is different story, but your file is saved in the hard disk, right? The image of that file is no loaded into the buffer, huh? And it is loaded in the R mode, that's the read mode. And rest of the things are same, reading character by character. So taking the character using fgetc by sending file pointer, we have collected in a simple character variable. We are checking whether it is EOF end of file. If not, put that character, print that character in CH. So what happens the first time control goes inside the loop, it will print because file pointer is at this level, right? Internal file pointer. So first character it will hash. So it will print hash here, and it will go on printing this. Okay, so it prints on file, right? So sometimes they ask you, many times students know this program, but they do not understand that, right? Because what happens, couple of lines, single, this line is there, so they can remember it. This program is usual, okay? So they can write the program, but they cannot explain that. How does it work? So I explained this program to show you uh, what can be done and how it is executed. That is very important, right? Now we will write one more interesting program. Huh? We have done one program of file copy. I don't remember where we have done that. Maybe this one? No. Let me check. I don't know what name we have given that, whether it's file copy or something like that. No, we have not given any name. So yeah, it is there. File copy is there. So we have written this program, right? If you can remember, huh? So we have opened one file in R mode and one file in W mode, right? I think you can remember this. We have already written this. To copy a file and make another, open a file to be copied in read mode. One file we opened in read mode. We want to make a copy of that. So another file we have opened in a W mode. And by character we are accessing the contents of one file and directly transferring them to the second file. That's it, right? That we are doing now. What is the limitation of this program? The limitation of this program is that this works only on text file. Okay, not by this program doesn't work on any other files. Okay, so we will try to copy a .exe because .exe cannot be opened in this read and write mode. No, it is not possible. I mean text mode. Because these are text mode, no? This text T is the default. Huh? So uh, we will try to uh, copy a executable file. Hmm? So which file you can? We have to keep some. We have to get some executable file first of all, so that we can know read more that. I'll take this file only. This file copy. What is the properties of this file? It must be executable. Yeah, this is the executable file, right? .exe. Now this we cannot copy using text mode. So I will copy this file uh, and I will create one folder. I will create one project and I will see binary copy, right, as a project name. Let's see how it works. I'm just playing, or I always like to play along with programs. Huh? So the code will be same. Two pointers have to be declared. One is fp1 and star fp2, right? Then one variable must be there, int ch. Then fp1 is equal to fopen, and in this folder I will keep that file. Huh? Executable file. Where is that? Hmm, where is that file? Yeah, here it is. Binary copy. Hmm? I'll paste that file here. File copy. If you see, if I try to open this file, since it is a binary, you cannot open this. Don't have. You cannot open this. It is executable. There is no option also open along with. Since it is executable, it will not give any option. But we will try to make a copy of this. Okay, I'll give this file as a message. Okay, our what will happen if I give this file as a message? No, we will not play as of now. We can play, there is no problem. Let's see. Let's rename it as a .txt. What happens? But still it will not open. I don't think so. No. Right? So I will give this name as a source file. Okay. Source. Right? So I will give the here file as source dot exe because it is the executable file. We need to open it, but in a binary mode, right? We can open it to binary mode. and it will be open because right now we tried. It is not, you cannot open that. But through file handling, we can open it. Huh? And one another file I will open is a target. Target dot, it has to be executable again. Right? And I put a WT mode, right? Because it has to be in write mode. Afterwards, we will check normal program. We should have taken that. We should take some normal, not file handling. Executable should be something of, if not any small program, we should take, which we can take. mm, some from the decisions. Yes, decisions. No decisions. No absolute value. Small program is there. We will take this file. Absolute value, so that we can run know whether it is copied perfectly or not. We will come to know that file handling again. We have to go over there. That file is created or not. Everything we have to check. So I will remove this and I will paste this absolute value, which is executable, and I name this as a source file. Right? Source file. So target. Now, first of all, check whether this is executed here or not. Yes, it is executed. Why it stopped? I don't know. That source code or that file might not be correct one. It's okay. We will check whether file. So what we can do now? You open it in the binary mode. So while ch equal to f get c. See, what I was telling you, this is search f get c. If you see the prototype of this, okay, you see that prototype as f get c returning integer. It is not saying returning character. It returns integer. So that might be one of the reason that declare variable as an integer. Because if f get c is returning an integer, on the left hand side there should be variable having data type as integer. So that might be one of the reason, right? Probably this is the best justification for that. F get c fp not equal to uf. What I can write? F put c ch and here it has to be fp1 and here fp. F close fp1, F close fp, right? So let's check whether the file is copied or not. First check whether it is there. Only source file is there, right? We'll give some message. We have to first of all check if p1 equal to null while doesn't exist. Right? Here also we need to do the same thing. I will copy paste this. About this, you need to be very careful. Huh? Students ignore this, and there is a mess completely. Whether you know whether file exists, not don't think. Okay, even though you are creating file in append mode or write mode, where there is no question, file will be created, but you should take care of that. Okay, file cannot be created. Whatever may be the reason, we do not know. Even though you are opening in this thing, huh? Here we have to create in binary mode, right? Not in text mode. How you can open the file in binary mode, copy it in a text mode? That is not good idea. Let's check whether it is created or not. So far there is no error. Yeah, it is created. Got that? So we have copied the binary file. Hmm? That is executed. That program doesn't execute because that might be a no. That program might not be completely written. Some problem along with the code might be there. It is not a problem of this file, right? So this is how a binary file can be opened and written. This is a second program I think we wrote in binary mode. First program I think we wrote about that no salary and some employee. I think we wrote that. Hmm? So this is about the mm, this thing binary file. One more what I want to show you is that one program I wrote. What was that? Yeah, I talked about this yesterday. This is the last program today. It is almost 8 o'clock. There is a one array, the student info, right? And I'm opening it in a read mode. Okay, that means file must be exist over there, right? Now, using fgetS, I am taking why we write fgetS takes fgetS function takes three arguments. One, a file the string in which contents are to be copied, right? FgetS means taking the input from the file and uh, line by line. So take the input from the file, one line of inputs, and put it in the array. So student info is the array we have already created. We have written this program. I mean, not this program. Line by line, we have written this program. The second argument that at that time I forgot. I had given that array size of 80, if you can remember, 81. I gave array size as. And I told you that I didn't. I forgot to explain you part of that. This is what actually I forgot. Not this program. This program I opened first time. In that program, I didn't explain you how this function works. Okay. So here, what happens to fget is fp is the file pointer we have given. 99 one less than this array size is given always. Okay, so if this array size is 80, you give it as a 80, a 79, right? So intentionally at the give this 81 so that 80 characters can be copied from that file, okay, and put it in the array, and then we print the array, right? Now, suppose this much I have not written. Hmm? First of all, let's check whether file exists. If fp equals null, we need to check whether file exists or not. Uh, File doesn't exist, right? Exist. Yeah, some data is there. Huh? Some data is there. Name is there. Some marks are there and grade is there. Okay, some data is there. Hmm? Now, this is the R mode. W mode we have seen, but R mode we have not seen. R mode means read and write as well, right? So, uh, here I have written the code as to take the um, name, marks, and grade of a student. Right? Another we have written and get a student info. Okay, same arrow we are using for taking the input. But note this statement is important. Fseek. Why? Because we are going to add this thing. Uh, what? Contents. We are going to add content. Since we are going to add contents, we must take care to take the file pointer to the end of the file, right? Because each time you have to think about the not file pointer, internal positional pointer. Each time you handle the file, and particularly when you are handling the file in append mode or W plus, R plus, all these modes, okay, plus modes basically, because and at the same time you are trying to mm, modify the file, okay, alter the file, okay, all these you want to do at that time. You as a programmer should have control or should have knowledge of that positional pointer where it might be. If you are not sure, if you don't know, then think about that before you start next operations. Otherwise, completely miss. You have written something, file pointer might be at the top. Again, you will write original will be erased. These kind of things happen. So what I have done, I want to enter something new here, additional information because this is a read and plus mode is there, so I can write it as well. So before writing what I am doing, I am calling the fseek function. Now what does the fseek function do? The f does actually fseek function helps you to move the pointer, positional pointer. So how does it move? First of all, which file it is going to act? That is the first argument. This is the offset, long int, right? And these are like three macros I explained you. Okay. So suppose I write ifsec and seek set. Okay, you can see here seek set has got value as a 0. You can see here macro definition. Okay, so it is a macro definition. Macro has been defined, right? So seek set. When you write seek set, you take the positional pointer at the beginning of the file. Okay, suppose uh, imagine you this mode, suppose R plus mode. Okay, what operations you can do? R plus mode, you can read contents and write contents. Okay, when you write contents, cursor will be at the end. Okay, so to take the cursor at the top, you have got two options. One is to call the function rewind. Rewind we have already used. Okay, but instead of rewind, what you can do? You can call the function fp068. This will also rewind. This is as good as rewind, right? But when rewind function is easy to use, we do not use this function, well, this fseek function this way. But if you want to take cursor randomly to any point, then at that time it helps you. Now here, there is like rewind, there is no function which will take cursor at the end of the file. So there it helps you. So fp0 and secant. Okay. So this is basically the to move the cursor at the end of the file, so that when I write contents, it will be added at the end, right? Because this is R mode, it is not append mode. In case of append mode, we don't need to worry because append mode cursor is automatically taken at the end of the file, right? Now, since this is a macro, you can use it as a tool also. So probably you will come to know what is the use of macro here. If you write 2, what is the meaning of that? Okay, that's why macros help you while writing program because 3 macros are there. Huh? So seek cursor is there 1, seek and 2, 6 at 0. So 0, 1, 2 like this, right? So here we are taking cursor to the secant. So cursor is taken. And then f put a student info has been written and slashing is there. Right? So we will run this program and we will try to enter the information. Okay. So enter name, marks, and grade of a student. Suppose. Richu. Okay. Then suppose 87.34. Suppose A. Hmm? So let's check and go to that file. Which is that file sample 4, I think, sample 4. So this is the student info. So have you seen this? Okay, one more data already. I had already written that sometimes. I mean, in the past, I think. And this is added right now, right? So this is the R plus mode and how that fseek function works. I mean, part of that I have taken today. Okay. Tomorrow I will consider allowing the fseek function other formalities. I mean, seek cursor and seek set. We have seen that. Take the cursor at the beginning. Seek cursor is important, and this long int. There is that. This second argument can be positive or a negative, right? So if I suppose suppose I write here -5. So where that cursor will be taken? fseek From where? Position. This is a position. Secant is position. Which is position? End position. From there, count 5 characters and take the cursor over there. So this works like that. -5. Right? It works like that. Hmm? So we will stop here.